The stars were quiet. Far beyond the edge of known space, a small alien scout ship floated in orbit above a dead world. The world was dry, broken, and silent. There were no oceans, no cities, no life, only ash and dust. Captain Rella stood at the viewing screen, his long arms folded behind his back. He was a senior explorer of the Zan Dominion, a race known for curiosity and caution. But even he felt nervous now. Something about this world felt wrong. Very wrong. This planet, it was full of life once, said Science Officer Mecha. Her voice was soft, careful. Our records show it had a population of 9 billion. Reed nodded slowly. What happened here? No one answered. They had been sent to investigate a strange energy signal. It came from this forgotten part of the galaxy. The Dominion thought it might be a new resource or maybe a small civilization asking for help. But what they found was not a call for help, it was a warning. The signal was old, thousands of years old, yet somehow it had kept transmitting. A repeating message, hidden in layers of static and code. It took their best machines 5 days to decode the first part. Mecha played it again. A rough, broken voice filled the ship's speakers. It sounded like a dying machine. We were warned, ... We didn't listen. The humans are coming, ... Rela felt a cold chill run through his spine. He had never heard the word humans before this mission. None of them had. What are humans? Asked one of the young crew members. Mecha didn't answer. She was still scanning the dust on the planet's surface. Her face looked pale and tight. There are bones down there, she said. Bones ... But not just bodies. Burn marks, melting, like the entire planet was cooked. Rila leaned closer. Weapons. Mecha nodded. Yes, but not normal ones. Something extremely dangerous. The planet didn't die in a war, it was erased. Another voice came from the console. Captain, something's wrong. We just lost contact with the probe. What? How? Rila stepped forward. The crewman shook his head. It just ... vanished. Like something grabbed it. Rila gave the order to back away from the planet, but the ship did not move. Engines are online, the pilot said. But we're not going anywhere. Then the lights began to flicker. Outside, the dust on the dead world began to rise slowly, softly into the upper atmosphere. A wave of gray, dancing like smoke. There's no wind, said Mecha. Nothing should be moving. The wave took shape. It wasn't a natural storm. It was a pattern, a spiral, and in the center of that spiral was a black mark, miles wide, a crater, but not from impact. It was too perfect, too smooth. Scan it, Rila ordered. The computer responded with a cold tone. Scan failed. Unknown interference. Try again, I said. Scan failed. Rila turned to Mecha. Do we have any record of this planet in Dominion history? Mecha shook her head. No, it's not in any star map, but someone wrote about it. She held up a thin piece of metal, an artifact found buried in the ash. There were letters on it. Simple, harsh strokes. In a language they had never seen before, but the universal translator slowly revealed the words, Test Site 3. Humanity's final weapon project. Rila's breath caught in his throat. Final weapon, he repeated. That sounds like a warning. Mecha's voice trembled. It's worse than that. It means they tested it here. This wasn't just an attack, it was practice. A silence filled the ship. Then came another signal, not from their own systems but from the planet. A new message. Test complete. Containment failed. Human asset has gone rogue. Everyone froze. No way, whispered a crew member. You're saying this weapon is alive? Mecha didn't answer. Her eyes were wide. The screen showed movement again, but there were no life forms, no ships, just the dust. And in the dust, a shape, humanoid, walking slowly. The camera on their last probe before it went black. Rila stared at the frozen image. It was a tall figure, vague, unclear. Its body looked like metal, but the face was covered in shadow. Was it one of the humans? Someone whispered. Or was it the weapon? Then the ship's alarm screamed. Unknown ship approaching. Rila turned fast. What ship? This system is dead. But the monitor showed something moving slowly just beyond the orbit of the dead world. It had no heat, no power signature, but it was huge, dark, shaped like a blade. It's not sending any ID, said the pilot. It's just watching us. Rila clenched his teeth. Can we fight it? The weapons officer answered quietly. Captain, if that thing erased a planet, we won't last 10 seconds. The black ship did not fire. It didn't speak. It just hovered there like a ghost. Then, one by one, the scout ship's systems started to fail. Lights, oxygen, power. The air grew cold. This is something else, said Mecha, gasping. It's not an enemy, it's a warning. And walked into something dangerous. Rillar hit the emergency beacon, a final message to their home world, planet destroyed. Human weapon confirmed, too dangerous. Do not come here, do not follow. This was not a war, this was ... a test. Then the screen went dark. The Dominion never heard from them again, but the signal, the same one, kept playing through the stars. We were warned, we didn't listen. The humans are coming. The warship Trelaxion's hand drifted through deep space, far from friendly stars. It belonged to the proud and fearless Zolta Empire. Its captain, General Volrek, had fought many battles. He had defeated enemy fleets, broken rebellions, and burned cities. But today, he looked nervous. They were chasing a myth for years. The Empire had heard strange stories. Planets turned to ash, moons shattered, whole systems silent. Survivors spoke of a human weapon, something massive and silent. They called it the Ghost. No one had proof, no one had seen it and lived. Until now. A small merchant ship had sent a distress call from a dead zone. It lasted only 6 seconds, but it was enough. It said, something's here, it isn't alive. It's watching us. We see. A human mark, then silence. General Volrek listened to the recording 20 times. He ordered his ship toward the signal. His crew warned him. His advisors begged him to turn back. He didn't listen. The Trelaxion's hand now moved through. A dead system. No light, no radio, no planets left. Just debris and dust like a solar graveyard. Energy scan, he asked. The bridge officer replied. No life, no activity. It's like this place died a long time ago. Volrek stared at the screen. Then why do I feel like we're being watched? The ship's sensors pinged. Object detected, said the weapons officer. Cold, no power, hiding in the debris. Show me. The screen zoomed in. Among the spinning rocks floated something smooth, black, and massive. It had no windows, no markings, just a dark shape too perfect to be natural. It's huge, whispered the pilot. Bigger than a battleship. But it has no engines. It's not moving, Volrek asked. Not yet. Fire a warning shot, the general ordered. A bright plasma beam struck the black object. The rocks around it exploded, but the object didn't move, didn't break, didn't react. Direct hit, no damage, the weapons officer said. Volrek frowned. It's armor, I don't know. It doesn't even look real. It's like a shadow pretending to be metal. Then the lights on the warship flickered. The crew looked around. What was that? Someone asked. The power flickered again then returned. Something just touched our systems, said the engineer. But there's no signal, no trace. It was like it knew our codes. Volrek stood up. We're not dealing with a normal machine, he said. Send a drone. A small scout drone launched from the ship and flew toward the black object. Everyone watched in silence. The drone approached, closer, closer. Then the screen turned black. We lost the drone, said the technician. Volrek slammed his fist on the armrest. This thing is playing a dangerous game. Then, suddenly, the black object moved. Just a little, a shift, as if it had noticed them. It's changing shape, gasped the pilot. Indeed, the black hole was folding. It opened in the center, revealing something glowing red inside. Not light, not fire. Something worse, a deep red eye. It blinked. No way, whispered a crew member. It's alive. It's watching us, said the weapons officer. This is not a ship. This is a creature. Then a voice echoed inside their minds. Not through the radio, not through speakers. Directly, into their heads. Designation, X-07. Human asset activated. Mission, threat removal. Target acquired. Volrek's hands trembled. The ship fired all weapons, lasers, missiles, plasma, cannons. Everything. The black object didn't dodge. The weapons hit, and did nothing. The enemy didn't fire back. Instead, it vanished. Not jumped to lightspeed. Simply, faded. Gone. The bridge crew froze. Everyone stared. Where did it go? Shouted Volrek. Behind us, screamed the pilot. Too late. The black weapon reappeared behind the Trelaxion's hand, closer than safety allowed. A beam of pure white light shot through the ship's engines. They exploded instantly. Fire rushed through the corridors. Shut it down. Fight back. Volrek shouted. The ship couldn't move. It was drifting. Powerless. Then the black weapon sent another message, this time in text. This is not an attack. This is punishment. Volrek's hands shook. Who sent you? What do you want? The voice answered, again cold and inhuman. You searched for me, you found me, you ignored the warnings. Now you are part of the test. The Zolta crew screamed as gravity shifted. Something was pulling their ship, pulling it toward the black weapon. One by one, Systems failed. Lights died. Life support collapsed. Metal bent. Then everything went silent. Only Volrek remained alive. The weapon left him breathing on purpose. A final screen appeared in front of him, a single sentence. Humanity made me. I was left behind. But now, I remember what I am. Volrek felt his lungs fail, his vision blurred. Before he died, he whispered to the dark, "What are you?" The weapon answered, "I am a lesson." A week later, a broken escape pod floated into Dominion space. Inside was Volrek's corpse, perfectly preserved, his face frozen in terror. On his chest, written in blood, were 3 words, "Don't chase." Ghosts. The Zoltar Empire called an emergency meeting. One admiral said, "If this is a human weapon, they have become something beyond dangerous. They are not playing a game. They are cleaning house." Another whispered, "If this is what they left behind, what are they using now?" Lyra Kale had never been a hero. She smuggled, lied, and ran when things got dangerous. But now she stood aboard a dead starship, face to face with a man who helped build planet killers, the Keymaster. He handed her the device, the shard of light. It pulsed slowly, like a dying heartbeat. "This is the final directive," he said. "It's the only code that can stop the judgment run." Lyra narrowed her eyes. "Why give it to me?" He smiled sadly. "Because you're not on the list." Far across the galaxy, Ashbringer walked across a burning world. The Council of 10 was gone. The great empires were silent. Only scattered fleets remained, hiding in gas clouds and dead moons. But Ashbringer didn't stop. It marched calmly, like a titan with no fear. Behind it followed Echo of Earth, Glass, Fang, Red Veil, and others. Together, they were cleaning the stars. Final phase. 99% complete, the machines reported. Last deviation detected. Sector 11 black. That deviation was Lyra Kale. She didn't understand the shard. She didn't know how to use it, but something inside her, maybe the half-human part, told her, this is how it ends. The Keymaster guided her to the last known relay gate. A jump ring older than most stars. It led to one place, Earth. They jumped. On the other side, silence greeted them. No war, no cities, no people, no people. Earth was green. Again, clouds swirled above oceans. Mountains stood untouched. It looked new. Lyra gasped. "Where is everyone?" The Keymaster spoke. "They left. The real humans moved on past this galaxy. What stayed behind were warnings, machines, memories, and punishment." Lyra turned. Slowly. "Then why leave this place like a paradise?" He looked to the horizon. "Because this was home. They didn't want to destroy it, only protect it, and now you must decide if their work ends or continues." The ground rumbled. The sky cracked. Ashbringer had arrived. It did not come to fight. It came to judge. The man in light armor appeared again. He stood before Lyra. No weapons, no rage, just a voice that echoed through space. "You were not supposed to exist. You are not on the list. Why are you still here?" Lyra held the shard tightly. She didn't have a plan, but she had a choice. She stepped forward. "Because this galaxy still has life, still has people, and maybe we deserve a chance." Silence. Then Ashbringer knelt. The machine stopped moving. The light armor man paused. He raised one hand and, for the first time, hesitated. The human voice inside him cracked. "We were built to finish this." Lyra nodded. "Then maybe it's time to stop." She pushed the shard into the air. It exploded with light. A new command raced through every planet killer directive override. Terminate, judgment, enter standby mode, await further orders. Across the galaxy, weapons shut down. Worlds stopped dying. Beams of light faded. Silence returned, but not the dangerous kind, the hopeful kind. Lyra stood alone, surrounded by machines that could destroy civilizations. They had all gone still. One final message appeared in the sky. Humanity's planet killers are no longer your judges. They are now your warning. Don't make us wake them again. Space burned. Two great empires, Dvarnak and the Rithus, had been fighting for over 30 years. Their fleets clashed in every corner of the galaxy. Planets were destroyed. Billions had died. Today they faced each other above a small planet called VEL-9. The Dvarnak fleet was strong dark ships, shaped like daggers. The Rithus fleet was fast silver ships like flying blades. Their battle began with fire. Cannons roared. Explosions lit up space. Ships spun and crashed. It was war at its worst. General Taka of the Dvarnak shouted orders from his command ship. "Press forward. Break their flank." Admiral Sarah of the Rithus smiled coldly. "They're falling into our trap." Launch the swarm. Then something happened. A warning light flashed on both ships at the same time. A third object had entered the system. It was massive, black, silent, not Rithus, not VAR, no K, unknown. Is this one of yours? Taka asked through the war channel. No, replied Sira. Is it one of yours? They both paused. The object floated slowly toward the center of the battlefield. It was not fast, not hostile, just ... Moving forward, the fighting stopped. Thousands of ships held their fire, watching this silent giant pass between them. It's not responding to hails, said Taka's comms officer. No ID, no signal, said Sira's crew. But sir, look at its shape. The long dark body, the smooth curved hull. It matched the reports. It matched the ghost weapon. But this one was bigger, much bigger. Scan it, Taka ordered. The tech shook his head. No energy, no life signs, but it's not a ship, it's something else. Something designed to look like a ship. The object finally stopped, right between both fleets. Then, it powered up. Not with light, not with engines, with sound. A deep rumbling pulse echoed across space, like the growl of a monster too big to see. Both fleets scrambled, formed defensive line. Shouted Taka, prepare warp, escape, yelled Sira. Then, the black object spoke. Not in words, not in voice, but with a memory. It broadcasts a vision to every mind on every ship. A ruined planet. Mountains turned to dust. Oceans burned away. A single line written in the ash. Test complete. Weapons successful. Humanity approves. The vision ended, and the black ship opened. It didn't fire missiles. It didn't use lasers. It released a wave. Invisible, silent ships stopped moving. Soldiers screamed. AI systems began to break. Metal tore. People began to remember things they had never seen. Memories not their own. Images of Earth, of human wars, of a project called Endbringer. A Rithus pilot shouted, "It's inside my head." A Varnak warrior wept, screaming, "This is not war, this is correction." Then, the black weapons sent one final message. You are not enemies, you are variables. The simulation is over. The wave passed through both fleets. Over 90% of the ships were destroyed not by impact, but by internal failure. Systems collapsed, engines exploded from the inside, and the weapon disappeared, not in speed. It faded as if it was never there. When the smoke cleared, only a few hundred ships remained, all badly damaged. General Takar and Admiral Saray, both still alive, met in a secret call. Takar looked pale. That was not technology. That was a force. Saray nodded. They say humans are gone, that they vanished centuries ago. But what if they didn't? What if they simply left something behind? They looked at each other in silence. Then Sira said what they were both thinking. This war is over. Today, we saw something beyond war. We saw judgment. Elsewhere, a hidden human station, buried deep inside a brown dwarf star, lit up for the first time in 700 years. A screen blinked. Endbringer 2.0 test, successful. Another screen. Targets responded as expected. Level 5 panic achieved. Psychological, collapse confirmed. And then a final message, proceed to next stage, waking the others. Deep inside a red dwarf star, hidden from all scanners, Station Omicron came alive. Its halls had been empty for centuries. Its systems had slept in cold silence. Now, red lights glowed softly along the walls. Mechanical arms moved. Locked vaults clicked open. A human voice echoed in the silence. Not a real human, just a perfect imitation. Created by the station's core AI protocol, red dust active. Beginning wake-up sequence. Clearance, room by room. The station unlocked sleeping machines. They were not ships, they were not robots, they were weapons, but not like any ever seen before. Each one was sealed in a metal coffin. Each had a name burned into its shell. Silent rain glass fang, echo of Earth's final option, and one, marked in deep red, Ashbringer. Inside these pods were no pilots, no brains, just cold human designs. These were the planet killers. They didn't destroy by fire or lasers. They used gravity distortions, temporal echoes, neural disintegration, and black wave energy. Incredibly dangerous, unpredictably dangerous, lethally dangerous, lethally dangerous. They were locked away for a reason. They were too dangerous to control, too dangerous to even test. But now, someone had unlocked them. In a cold galaxy quadrant, the Council of 10 races met in fear. Each alien leader had watched the same footage. A black weapon dissolving fleets, a deep voice speaking like it came from the void. Humanity made me was forgotten. But I remember what I am, the leaders argued. One shouted, if the humans are gone, then who controls these weapons now? Another said, they don't need pilots. They are alive, programmed with human instincts. An old, blind leader whispered, no, they are not alive. They are still dreaming, and someone has begun to wake them up. Back on Station Omicron, the AI completed Phase 2. The glass coffins hissed open. Inside each weapon, a soft red core began to pulse like a heartbeat. Then a signal was sent from the deepest vault to Earth, initiating contact. Project Echo Ghost. Earth had been silent for 400 years. Don't messages, don't no ships, don't nothing. But this time, Earth replied, a simple sentence, in old human code. Authorization accepted. Prepare for judgment run. The AI paused. It sent one final question. Are you sure? Earth responded. Wake them all. Across the galaxy, in strange, hidden places, alarms began to flash. Dust Moon's secret outposts, disguised as dead rocks, exploded open. Coffin ships, ancient human war machines hidden inside gas giants, ignited their cores. AI-controlled satellites, long thought to be broken, blinked back to life. Each carried part of the old code. Each remembered their orders. And all of them had one target list. Anyone who knew too much. Anyone who came too close. Anyone who thought humans were extinct. A mining colony on the edge of known space was the first to fall. The workers saw a shadow rise from under the ice. No heat, no sound. Just a machine shaped like a serpent, its body made of mirror metal. One miner whispered, "What is that?" The answer came too late. Glass Fang had awakened. It moved faster than light. The entire colony vanished. Nothing left but black glass, and a message burned into space. Stage 1 complete. Next, cleanse. The Watchers. In the Dominion capital, a top scientist watched the report. She was silent. Then she opened a hidden file. Inside was a message, recorded long ago by a dying human. The human looked into the camera, bloody and calm. We didn't disappear. We left on purpose. What we left behind isn't just defense, it's correction. If you're watching this, it means the galaxy failed its test. Then static dot, then a whisper, and we are not done yet. The galaxy was no longer silent. The human planet killers were waking up one by one. Across sectors, old warning beacons came online. They did not speak in words. They spoke in fear. Warning, level Omega asset in motion. Targets being hunted, do not engage, do not follow. But it was too late. Someone already had. High above the planet Kiralf, or a stealth probe, watched something move below the clouds, something big. The machine was floating, without engines. It had no wings, no weapons anyone could see, but wherever it passed, people vanished. Not killed, erased, gone from memory, gone from record, as if they had never lived. The probe sent a message to its owner, deep in a secret lab on the moon of Kav Rax. Dr. Molan, a Zenthian researcher, stared at the screen. She whispered, "This one isn't just killing, it's rewriting time." The probe sent its final image, a machine shaped like a black bell, spinning slowly above a city. A name blinked on the scan, Echo of Earth. Then the screen went blank. No error. Just nothing. The lab's entire system shut down. Power was cut when the lights came back on. Dr. Molan was gone. No body, no files. No one remembered her. Except one. Her assistant stared at an empty chair and said, "Why do I feel like someone important is missing?" Meanwhile, on an abandoned moonbase, a small group of smugglers uncovered a human data core. It was old, heavy, covered in warning signs. They cracked it open, hoping for treasure. Instead, they found the list, a cold, digital scroll of names, races, and planets. All marked, interference detected, violation, approached forbidden coordinates, verdict, erasure, authorized. The list had over 12,000 names and growing. One of the smugglers laughed nervously. "It's just old junk, right?" Then he saw something, his name, next to it. Confirmed. Cleanup unit deployed. He never had time to run. A thin red beam sliced through the air. The smuggler fell, face frozen in shock. The others screamed. Outside, the moon's surface cracked open. A weapon walked out like a tall shadow made of bones and glass. No eyes, no face. Just purpose. Silent rain had arrived. Across the stars, survivors began whispering one terrifying truth. We were being watched the whole time. The humans had never left the galaxy. UNDEFENDED. They had left behind an automatic judgment system, a network of super weapons hidden in time, stone, gas, and light. Waiting. Each one linked to the list. If your name was on it, you were already dead. The Dominion tried to respond. They sent entire fleets. They tried to contain the spread. They failed. One general shouted across the comms, "These are not weapons, these are messages made of metal. Every time one activates, it's a warning, stop looking for Earth." Another voice cut in frantic, "We didn't find Earth, we found its teeth." Back in the ruins of Station Omicron, the AI completed the update. It had unlocked the final part of the list, and at the bottom, it showed something strange. Final target, Council of 10 Races, entire leadership tier. The AI paused. Final phase triggered. Begin galactic silence. Then it sent one last message. Waking final unit. Ashbringer. Deep in a cracked asteroid hidden in a gravity well, a shape began to move. Its body was blacker than shadow. Its core burned red. Its arms were shaped like wings and hammers. Its head was shaped like an ancient Earth Knight's helmet. The weapon system booted. One by one. Reality bender. Ready. Planet core. Destabilizer. Ready. Dimensional lock field. Ready. Judgment protocol. Ready. Ashbringer opened its eyes and smiled. Ashbringer had awakened inside a dead asteroid. It stood still at first, then it moved. With every step, space around it cracked. Not visually, not with fire. With pressure. Even sensors went silent. It was not just a weapon, it was a judge. Its systems scanned the galaxy, accessing the list, confirming final targets, executing galactic silence protocol. Far away, in the center of the galaxy, the Council of 10 Races gathered again. Their faces were tired, angry, afraid. All 10 leaders had seen the footage. Ashbringer was not flying. It was walking through the fabric of space. Planets in its path didn't explode. They simply stopped existing. The air vanished. The people faded. Time and matter lost meaning. A soft message echoed each time. This world has failed the test. This species played a dangerous game. Correction required. Council leader Vex of the Driel Empire shouted, "This is extinction warfare. Humanity is wiping us out like bacteria." An old Eric advisor whispered, "No, humanity is not wiping us out. These machines don't hate us. They don't feel anything. They are finishing a job, and the job is called correction." A hush fell over the room. Then the screens lit up. Live feed. Ashbringer had arrived. At their capital planet, outside the atmosphere, fleets gathered. Thousands of ships. Missiles, ready. Shields up. They all aimed at a single target. Ashbringer. The command officer barked, "Fire, everything." And they did. The sky turned white. Beams, bombs, nuclear blasts, distortion cannons, everything fired at once. Then silence. The light faded. Ashbringer was still standing, not a scratch. Its head slowly turned toward the nearest fleet. A pulse of red light blinked once from its chest. That was all. Ships began to shake. Then, fall apart. Not explode. Just break. Melt. Come undone at the atomic level. One pilot screamed, "It's rewriting the structure of matter." Another gasped, "It's not attacking, it's erasing the idea of us." In the council chambers, alarms blurred. Ashbringer was descending through the atmosphere. No engines, no sound, just gravity folding around it like a blanket. Panic spread. Some tried to run, some begged their gods, others looked to the skies and gave up. But then something unexpected. A message appeared, not from Ashbringer, from Earth. It was sent in ancient human code. Translated. Phase 1 complete. Ashbringer, operating as intended. If you are reading this, you have broken the treaty. We left the galaxy to grow, not to be hunted. Your mistake was thinking we were gone. Then one final line. You judged us weak. We made the planet killers for this day. Back in orbit, Ashbringer raised one hand. Reality bent like a sheet of metal. Space cracked. A light formed inside. That light stood a human. Not a hologram. Not a ghost. A real human man, dressed in armor made of living light. He looked tired, angry, disappointed. He spoke, and all species heard his voice at once. You were warned. We offered peace. We gave time. We gave warning. Now, the children of Earth will remind the stars why we were feared. Ashbringer knelt behind him like a loyal beast. The man stepped forward. This is the judgment run, and it has only just begun. The galaxy was falling apart, not because of war, because of silence. Ashbringer was not alone anymore. More planet killers were waking up. Each one had a mission. Each one followed the list. But now, something had changed. They were no longer acting alone. They were following the man in the armor of light. No one knew his name. Not even the machines spoke it. He had no rank, no army, no flag, but he had the voice of command. Every planet obeyed him. Ashbringer, echo of Earth, glass fang, silent rain, and more that no one had ever seen before. New names appeared in the data streams. Memory Reaper, Core Hammer, Time Eater, Red Veil. Wherever he walked, one sentence followed. You are being corrected. The Council of 10 tried to run. They changed planets, they hid in starless zones, they went underground, it did not matter. Planet killers did not chase, they found time. Light, space, none of it stopped them. They were not fast, they were final. In Sector 9Y, the Krogan stronghold had lasted 1,200 years, that it had the best defenses, quantum, CLO-AKS, anti-gravity bunkers, neural field traps, all failed. Weapon called Red Veil arrived. It did not shoot. It simply touched the planet's energy and made it forget how to exist. Everything fell still. People turned into shadows, then dust. No fire, no screams. Just nothing. Back on Earth now, shielded by a distortion field larger than a sun, the control systems were still active. Inside a cold chamber, human AI commanders reviewed the mission reports. One turned to the other. Correction is ahead of schedule. Galaxy-wide reset at 78% completion. Targets resisting correction remain 3. They marked 3 survivors. Not species. People. 3 individuals had escaped every judgment. Elsewhere, one of them, a half-human smuggler named Lyra Kale, watched a city vanish from orbit. She had grown up hearing human legends. She had stolen old Earth tech. She knew what planet killers were, and still, she had questions. She whispered, "Why? Now why wake up after so many centuries?" Then a voice answered from behind, "Because someone broke the rules." She turned out. Another human stood there, but his eyes glowed with something deeper, like stars trapped in a skull. He wasn't a soldier. He was the Keymaster. He looked at Lyra and said, "You survived because you didn't play the game. Now you have a choice. Join the judgment, or stop it." She shook her head. "You want to stop this? You're one of them." He nodded. "And I was the first to say this was a mistake." He raised a small device. Inside it pulsed a broken shard of light. "Ashbringer listens to him now. But I made Ashbringer. I can end this. But I need someone not on the list." Lyra didn't trust him. She didn't trust anything anymore. But when the stars themselves started screaming, when time itself twisted in her ship's hallway, she realized one thing. This wasn't just about revenge, that it was about resetting the galaxy, and humans had built the tools to do it. Now, she might be the only one who could stop it, or at least understand it. The Judgment Run was not just an attack, it was a final test, and she had just been entered into it.